Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be showing you 5 amazing free plugins. Right, here we are. I've got the 5 loaded up. I'm going to dive straight in. I'm going to show you all of these if you haven't already seen them. Now, the reason I've decided to do just 5 is because, it's very easy to get swamped with tons and tons of plugins, and there are tons and tons of free ones out there that are very, very good. Tons of paid ones that are very, very good too. But I wanted to start with 5. These 5 I have consistently used in my music all the time since having got them. That sounded like terrible English, but you get the point. Since having not purchased them because they were free, downloaded them. That's the word I was looking for. Since having downloaded them. So here are the 5. I'll list them and then we'll dive into each one of them. So I've got number 1, Spitfire Labs Soft Piano. Number 2, Cinematic Synthetic Drums by Impact Soundworks. Number 3, Acoustic Guitar Free by Pettenhouse. Number 4 is My String Risers that I created for my little sample library company called Inventive Instruments, and My Chamber Cello, which I also created for Inventive Instruments. Now, let's dive in. I will save my favourite till last. So here we go. 5 instruments. Now, as you know, I'm all about trailer music, and I want to highlight a very, very important definition here that trailer music, when I say trailer music, I'm not talking about epic music. I'm talking about music that is placed on film trailers, and there are so many genres that are placed on film trailers. Okay, so bear that in mind. Admittedly, you could probably use these for epic music very easily, but in this instance, I'm not going to be thinking it like I'm thinking about trailers. Okay, so let's start. Number 1, Spitfire Labs Soft Piano. Now, I got this when it was a donationware, so I paid £2-3 for it, and it has been the most useful instrument I have ever paid £2 for. It was, I think actually it's free now. Just looking for my little foot pedal thingy. It always somehow manages to disappear behind the desk. All right. So when I'm playing samples and looking for sample libraries, I'm looking for character. And this is what Christian Henson does so well. He understands that people want character. We don't want the beautiful, clean audio that you have with some of these sample libraries, because then your music disappears into like this mass of other people's music that sounds exactly the same. Well, that's my opinion anyway. You want character. You want samples to suddenly stand out and people go, "Oh, that sound is amazing." And you go, "I know, it's a soft piano." And I know that people ask me what piano sample I use, and it's almost always this one, because you can hear it. You can hear the lovely felt. And up here, you can hear the hammers. It's just lovely. And it's so incredibly cinematic straight away. So let's go to A minor, my second favourite key. Hello. Already I'm in a filmic world, because it has this ambience to it and it has this intimacy to it, which is, it's like your instruments want to reflect a character in a film. They're like, the character is the intimacy. And then the whole narrative is the ambience created by your sounds. So that is why I go for this over so many piano sounds, because also it cuts through the mix really nicely. So I suggest you get this, and it sounds so good. I mean, everything. I mean, this is the lovely thing about sample libraries, good ones, is that you start playing them and you go, "I want to write music," and that's what I'm looking for, and that's what this one does. I bought this for £2 or £3, and I wrote 5 albums in a few weeks, because this inspired me so much. And Christian Henson obviously put a lot of love into the sampling this as well, because it just sounds so fantastic, and I'm very, very grateful for him to do that as well. So thanks, Christian. Now, next on my list, I'm not going to go to Cinematic Synthetic Drums yet. I'm going to jump to this guy. acoustic guitar, Pettenhouse. Again, similar thing. He hasn't just sampled an acoustic guitar. If we load up the instrument, you can see he's got 3 instances going here. You've got the actual acoustic guitar. You've got the release, which is very subtle, but it's there. You've got the fret noise, which is only on a few of the keys, but that makes it feel so realistic. It's just brilliant. So let's have a go. Okay, so just have a listen. I'm looking for that character and also that ambience. It sounds like someone's playing the guitar. It's just fantastic, and it's free. I mean, what a guy giving this away for free. I mean, it's just lovely. And my favourite way to use this is to bounce in place with it. So let's just... There we go. So I'm going to record something. I'm going to go, hello. Done. Let's just quickly quantize that. And bounce in place. Yes, 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 yes. Open up the word form. Revert. Oh, there we go. Yes, I want to reverse it. Sometimes I forget my samples. So here we go. I mean, yeah, amazing. It just sounds so great. So I've used that a lot in my more, I'm not sure what the word is to describe it, my more post-rock inspired music, because it just sounds so brilliant having these lovely organic sounding acoustic guitar things going on, and it adds texture, which is so important to your tracks, especially when you're dealing with samples all the time. If you don't have texture, then you're missing a huge element of your musical palette, and that's what this one does for free. It does a beautiful texture for your cue. Moving on next, okay, I'm going to dive into my own Inventive Instruments sample, string risers. I use risers all the time, so it was a no-brainer for me to make my own risers. So we were in Budapest recording some samples, recording some tracks, and I asked to do a small sort of 10-15 minute session of rises. And what this sample is one of 3. So where is it? String, bed, string, rises. There we go. String downers, string rises, tremolo, string rises. So if I... Where are you? There we go. So it was in A. So this is where it all started. So we had double basses, cellos, violas, violin 2, violin 1. Lovely. And what I like about that is it's not like a sine tone rising, it's not like a white noise rise, it's real instruments playing at different octaves, rising at different rates, which creates character. So what I tend to do is use 3 octaves. I'll start with the 2 lower octaves, and then when it gets up a bit, it's just awesome. It just sounds so simple. I mean, it was so simple. It was. I mean, this is one sample spread across the whole keyboard. I mean, I don't really like those top end ones, I'll admit, but these ones. Sounds like a swarm of planes. It's just fantastic. Let's go lower. And then you add see, I get distracted because I want sample libraries that inspire me, and this one did. and does, and I use it all the time to create interesting risers. I usually layer this with some other stuff, other risers, just because I don't want it to be so obvious I'm using the exact same sample every time, which I am. But yeah, it's what I look for is a free library that I can just chuck in and use. So you can get, obviously, this at the Inventive Instruments website for free. And I'm going to now jump to Cinematic Synthetic Drums by Impact Soundworks. Now, this is one of my first sort of big drum libraries. I think Storm Drum was my first one, which I was huge for me because I wasn't earning any money from music. And, back then, forking out sort of 500 quid for a sample library felt like I was sort of spending my life savings. So when I saw this for free, I was like, yes, sir, I'm having it. And I did. And now, the thing with this is the title, Cinematic Synthetic Drums. So what it is all these different sounds laid across the keyboard, right? Now, the way I use this is the way I would use a swish hit. And what I mean by that is I use this sparingly, but I use it a lot because it's got some great downers. Boom. It's got some great... Where are you? Great rumbly hits that are really, really nice to add emphasis to the beat of the bar. Yes, Mega Tom. And again, same thing. If you listen to each of the sounds, you can hear the lovely crisp character of the close sounds of the high frequencies, and then you've got this like huge tail or reverb, whichever one it is at the time, maybe both. Okay, not so keen on that one. I don't use the drops, I will admit that. These are the beasts I use. These guys. They're big rumbles. It's worth just getting for these. If you can have another hit to your arsenal, it's just fantastic. What I'm going to do in a minute is I'm going to write a very, very short snippet of music using all 5 of these, just to kind of give you a flavour. And my last one is this one here, which is, again, my own, Chamber Cello, which you can get for free at inventiveinstruments.com. It's originally what it was I couldn't afford to pay a cellist to do big sessions, so I've got my friend Tim in, who's played in tons of my music. And I just said, Tim, could you play an A minor scale, please? And just make each note sound like a beautiful note in and of itself. So he played. These lovely long drawn out notes. Where the note comes in and then the vibrato comes in, which makes it sound beautifully cinematic and beautifully expressive, and that's what I like. I like being able to drop stuff in, even if it's just a texture to add as a pad, because there's no legato patches, there's nothing fancy, it's just me loading in samples and putting a skin on it. But I use this and have used it a ton, especially in my more ambient music projects, because when I haven't necessarily got a budget at all to bring in a cellist to play stuff, so I go, oh, Tim will do. There he is. Okay, so there's not really much to talk about that, except for the fact that if you want the sound of a real cello but can't afford one, just get this. It's just really nice just to have that sitting over the top of a bed. I don't mean like, an actual bed, a sound bed. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. You can get all the links to the 5 instruments down below. And of course, subscribe to my channel, click like on the video. And if you want to find out more about writing for trailer music, writing trailer music for film trailers, then head on over to the Trailer Music School. See you there.